All right. Double microphone. All right, we're back. We're getting shit done. Gonna bug the cats over here. This camera doesn't do as well, so we're gonna do our best. But welcome, welcome. As I said yesterday, right? Yesterday was a big one. I told you guys I was gonna finish the car. Guess what? I finished the dang car. Except for one thing. I messed up on an angle. So I have to take apart and make a new one. A new AN fitting. Because I got a little ahead of myself and I did not put in consideration the angle. And I was like, oh yeah, no, this is how I'm gonna do it. But now I gotta take it apart and then undo what I just did and then do it right. But thank you for tuning in. Hey, what's going on, Juan? So we're gonna make an AN fitting. Please, let's keep as many comments under control. I know we have a good time and with conversation. I got no argument there, but I'm gonna do the best I can to answer questions as I work. But please, again, I gotta get this done tonight. We actually gotta get it off jack stands, take it outside, add coolant, turn it on, all tonight. I need this car running perfectly fine tonight. So I just finished the oil line on the bottom and no leaks, thank goodness. Just confirmed that, so I have 0 leaks on my oil. I shortened the fuel lines here. So the fuel lines, I made them a lot shorter. As you guys can see, they're no longer like cruising everywhere over here. Hey, what's going on from Australia, from down under? My brothers. So that, again, is taken care of. So I made new lines. I fixed the fuel lines. I fixed the oil line. I rerouted the coolant line. Now I got to repair the coolant line over here to a straight, and then I have a 90-degree adapter. What's going on, Cams? So we gotta take this guy off. So we're removing this AN fitting. We're gonna make a brand new one. Now what's cool about AN fittings, as long as we didn't damage the inside of this, we can actually just reuse the ferrule inside of here and put the new line inside and just go straight, which is really cool. Hopefully this weekend getting ready for Nobo show. Dang, hell yeah. That's a good show. Okay. So there's that. We try to push in the ferrule as much as we can while we get the other piece up. Dope. All right, that is taken care of. Now we're going to put our straight adapter versus our 90. Oh, it's on the old line. That's why. This one, I'm not using. Side. If you guys are setting comments right now, I'm not going to be able to read them yet. Give me a minute. Here is the old straight. All right. You can be third. You're going to try to make it out. There's going to be 2 cars with trailers there. I would love to, but I mean, I'm barely going to get my car running correctly. And once that's done, now I got to paint. I'm painting the car and the trailer. I also have to redo the inside of the trailer as well. Golf 4 variant. This is just a Golf GTI. User 9465449174213. I work on this car. Last night I was supposed to work on it. Didn't even touch a thing because I had to talk to you guys. Tonight I'm actually working on it. I actually don't have a job. I spend 90% of my day with my family and my night with you guys, my other family. You know, I spend time with my wife at the gym. I spend time with my kids all morning. Yeah. We got to get time and shoot some photos. Yep. I'm going to paint it. Yeah. How do I make a living? Well, there's a thing called investing. And I invested. And I did really well. And on top of that, I repair cars on the side. So I do mechanic work. On top of mechanic work, I do a lot of consultation work. Is Alonso ready for school? Kinda. This is a GTI badge condense. So it's a 2-door. So I do a lot of stuff on the side for funds and making a living. I do a lot. So not just YouTube videos. I do TikTok. I also do, on top of TikTok, YouTube. I fix cars. I fix motorcycles. I have my online store. I make merch. I sell products. We have my eBay store. We do a lot of stuff on eBay. So yeah. What's that POS? Snow Optics? Nothing, don't worry about it. This makes a little over 400. Last we dynoed it was about 500. So yeah, but we're trying to shoot for 450, actually lower horsepower numbers. But I'm making my new AM lines here. Believe it or not, I want to go lower in horsepower, but I want to be able to make boost at a much lower RPM than before. So before I was making full power. No, it's a 1.8T POS, not a VR6. What AF so much? So I have a couple of VR6s as well, but this one is the one I'm finishing up on. After this car is done, I'm actually going to be bringing my Jetta VR6 Turbo, and I'm going to be finishing that build next after this car. So, but you guys are going to get to see the half car, my trailer that I made, because that's the next part of this build. Is finishing that car. That's a quick project. That's just sand, or polish, strip everything on it, and then get it ready for paint. Now these PTFE AM lines have been a pain, such a burden today. There we go. Woo! All right. That's done. Then we put the straight on this. So we go AN10 to AN10, and then we go AN10 to a 90-degree 3/4 water outlet here, or barb fitting. We need a barbed end because we're routing this hose to the factory metal outlet, and that's only barbed. What's turbo you think to use for this upset? My assumption is, what turbo do we use for this setup? What's poppin', fam? Forever Forward Garage. What's up, fool? Just chilling. We're just finishing up on my car. So we use a GT35 dual ceramic ball bearing turbo made by Mama Tech. Internal gated, custom full 3-inch turbo downpipe. The crank. So that's what we're using for this turbo. We're using 880cc injectors. Again, my goal is to keep my power around 450. 400 to 450 is where I want to be at. I don't want to go higher in power range. It's because this car is not designed to go straight. It's designed for turns. So the suspension is all dialed in for doing autocross and for doing pretty much canyon driving. So very aggressive driving. That's what this car has been designed for. I have a lot of suspension upgrades that I have to swap out when I go, when it's in season for that, for my track season. When it's not being driven for track, the car is dailied. So this engine has way over 400,000 miles on it, but it's been rebuilt at around 200 for power. It wasn't built because it was going bad. It was just built for power. That was it. All right, so now I gotta tighten these lines. These fittings are next to be tightened on here. I hate using a crescent wrench to tighten these. I should have bought another AN wrench, but you know, I'm on a time crunch for getting this stuff done. Because there are almost three, I think there's 3 car shows that I'm trying to make this year with this car. Again, not trying to win shows. I just want to show my car. I am not here to win any trophies or say I'm going to win trophies. My car is 100% a DIY car. I don't pay anybody to paint. I don't pay anything. I just do it all myself. So that's why I love it. All right, that's ready to go. Hopefully get up to 250, 275 and call it good enough, since mine isn't speed build. Again, this car has been making that horsepower before, but we were using a journal bearing turbo. So power didn't kick in until 4,000 RPMs plus. We didn't go full power. My goal is 25 to around 3,000 full power. That's where I have more control. Going 4,000 over, you're building boosts too fast and it's hard to control. You get too much oversteer and it just becomes very dangerous. So that was the whole point of going to a ball bearing turbo during this build, is to get that power band much lower and sooner to go all over that, you know? Walnut. So I have the press for this, but because I am sitting here, I can't use it. I already bolted in the coolant line, and I accidentally didn't pay attention earlier, and I used the wrong fitting, so I have to do it here. That's why. I'm blessing the 5 people. Message me, word grace. There you go. That's fine. You can bless people. Just say bless you and whatever. You're good. All right. So now that this line is made, we bought some 3/4 inch coolant line, which I need. I bought 1 foot because I only need like 6 inches of it. So this is the coolant line we purchased today. Just a basic universal coolant line, 3/4 inch. We gotta get some clamps on this. All the way down. And then pretty much we gotta measure and cut. We only need about 6 inches of this hose. It's just, we're gonna put a clamp on here, put it on the outlet. and we're done. We now have a coolant feed line for our turbo. You have a beautiful cat. Thank you. I got two of them. There's a black one and an orange one somewhere around here. They're messing around right now. When I go live, they just go crazy. They like having fun during my lives, so they run around a lot. Get a coolant line. I mean, not coolant, we gotta get clamps, I forgot. See, I get distracted and I don't get the right stuff out. These clamps, maybe they're gonna work. I have this radiator cap that I needed. So there's that. Can you measure this coolant line? I think these are too small. Yeah, these are way too small. Glad to see I'm not the only one that does, right? That cat wants to fix the car. Sometimes. Sometimes, or he just jumps on there and just is annoying. I gotta find my other clamps. Not really hard. But they're going to work for now. These are going to be a temporary one. So I find out where my other tension clamps are. So I hate using very long clamps. Cats. I hate using very long clamps, but I have to use them. I can't find my box of like small clamps and the universal ones that I use. But this has got to go in here. So again, we're going from full AN to barb fitting, mainly because we can't convert, obviously, the hard line that's on here from the factory. I mean, we could. I mean, I can't weld. So if I knew how to weld, I would gladly convert that line and make it a, what do you call, an AN fitting, and just solve all my problems, you know? And just make it a full bolt-on freaking, like, you know, screw-on part versus a clamp. I hate hoses so much. I love AN fittings. If I could AN fitting the entire car, I would, you know, but again, I don't know how to weld, and having everything welded on here is not cheap. I'm trying to make this as affordable as possible. I agree, welding is hard. New here is that this is my shop, so yeah. You can enjoy yourself, and then I'm going to bed. Have a good night, buddy. From Norway, dang, hell yeah. Welcome. So we're gonna cut this clamp right here. Turn your volume down right now, please. I'm gonna turn on my angle grinder really quick. Turn your volume down. I'll give you guys like 20 seconds. Ooh, A5 Datsun, A510 Datsun. That is one of my favorite cars, by the way. Oh, again, turn your volume down, and I turn on an angle grinder. 1, 2, and 3. All right. Well, that clamp is now officially the right size. That's clamp 1. We cut them because we don't want anything to get caught. Bend it back down. Done. Same thing on this side. Hey, what's going on, Peterbilt? What's going on? Welcome, welcome. Anthony U4G7S. Juke? No, it's not a Nissan Juke. Not much. Oh, well, welcome. Either way, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, not Nissan Juke. But pretty close. Honda Civic? No, not a Honda Civic either. This is a 2002 Volkswagen GTI. Fully built 1.8T motor. I'm just doing the last bit here so I can get the car turned back on, dump some coolant, and get the bubbles out of the system. Because I'm going to have a lot of bubbles since the car hasn't had coolant in it for a minute, so we got to put new coolant in it and get it all back up and going. I have to follow you. Well, thank you. Oh man, here's the K24 guys here. There's another K24 guy. Welcome, welcome. That is a GTI. Yes, sir, Mr. Victor Lopez. Civic, 2Z, yep. He the first one tonight to say the K24 is superior. You know, I probably get about 2 to 3 of you guys every night to say that, and that's fine. Again, that's a kind of an opinion thing, you know, opinions. And remember what opinions are? They're like booty holes. Everybody has one, and they all stink. Hey, have you ever run the engine without a thermostat? Yes, yes, I have. Clay Thrash K24. Yeah, it's a lot of money. I agree, but it's okay. If you like K24s, get a K24. I'm not gonna be mad at you. Ain't no one judging. Hey, I just seen your video. Your GTI smoking. What was that? My MPS 3 does the same. So mine is smoking for 1 to 2 reasons. First one, either it's dumping too much gas, okay, in which I think that's the issue, or number 2, one of the valve stem seals might be leaking. I'm leaning more towards the stem seal, so tomorrow I'm getting a leak down tester, and I'm going to be pretty much testing all my cylinders and see if they're holding pressure or not. I got to do a leak down test. If all the cylinders hold pressure, then it's probably a fueling issue that we're just dumping too much fuel. Again, I'm not 100% sure in this scenario, but that's the two scenarios that I'm falling into right now. All right, turn your volume down. Did it work better without it, or did you have to place it? I run no thermostat when I race the car at autocrossing or canyon driving. It doesn't make the car run better. It just makes the car circulate water faster. We need that, especially when you're driving the car really hard. You want water to cycle through as fast as you can. Even with the thermostat fully open, it will still have some restriction. No thermostat, it's just a full flow. So, but the problem is, when you have a full flow, it takes longer to heat up to get to, running temperature or closed loop, right? So when a car goes to full temperature, it runs in closed loop, and that's when everything's running correctly. So you got to remember, there are pros and cons. Once you get the car, back, if you're going to be dailying it, I would put a thermostat back in there because you want to get to a hotter temperature sooner than later. Going too cold too long, especially like during the winter time, can have devastating issues to your head. That means you have too much dissimilar temperatures top and bottom, and that's very bad, especially if you're going to be driving in colder areas, Or run a gutted thermostat. That's actually a good idea. That gives you still some restrictions, so it takes a little bit longer to heat up, but you still get really good flow. That is a good recommendation, Eric. Exactly. If you're in an area where it stays hot all year, freaking pull that thermostat out for sure. You'll enjoy the benefits. It just takes a little bit longer to get warm. That's it. All right, turn your volume down again. I gotta run my angle grinder again. So I'm gonna give you guys a count to 10, and I'm gonna run this, all right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. If you didn't turn your volume down, I'm sorry, I pre-warned you. All right, that one's done. All right, now I just gotta get a big old knife and cut this. What are we doing here? I am finishing up the coolant system. So, because yesterday all we did was talk and I didn't do any work, so today in the morning I woke up early and did everything I was supposed to do yesterday, and now I'm there. I made an oopsies and I forgot to. I put 290 degrees, so I made a full 180 to go back. I was supposed to go straight and then a 90. So it's done. I cut the hose. Now I'm in the clamp because I need to make the clamp smaller because it's not a gigantic clamp in here. And then the next step here is to get my hose where it needs to go and then cut it to length, and then we're good. Dipstick out. There it is. Got my marking. So we gotta cut it right here. I just mark it with tape so I know where to cut it. So there's that. I bought wheels from Alibaba or whatever you call it, installed them, and now my car won't turn. That Chinesium just killed your car. That's awesome. I found the thermostat for a Chevy engine, fits perfectly and runs at a lower temperature. O'Reilly has them on the back shelf, just FYI. So Juan Canoy's 2597. They actually, you can just Google the part number of the thermostat, and then you can just find that thermostat and you can find different temperatures. They always come in different temperatures. You don't have to have them open at very specific temperatures. You can actually choose a thermostat that opens sooner or even later. Johnny, Sandman, Das, Volkswagen, Das, Auto. Yes, that is true. So now I'm gonna cut this hose. I definitely have a cutter for that. I think this one, or let me see if I have my hose cutter over here. I do have a hose cutter. But that one tends to move around in my shop. So I might not get a perfect cut. Oh, here it is. Yay! Yeah, so this is like one of the most handy tools I've owned in a long time, is a hose cutter. These things are super cool. $5 on Amazon. You get your hoses cut nice and straight. You know, it's just a big old blade. That's it. $5. Best $5 I spent in a very long time. All right, so now we got a nice clean cut hose. We're gonna put that in there, and then we're gonna find a way to get this clamp on there at the same time, because this is a very tight fitting area. 'Tis tight like a tiger, I tell you that. PVC cutter works too. Oh, I did not know that. I'll give that a try next time. I have a Golf 5 350. Oh, nice Mark 5. Is it an FSI or a TSI motor? If it's a TSI, cool, very, very cool. If it's an FSI, I'm impressed because it's still running. FSI motors are notorious for having the cam follower issue, but you know, easy stuff to fix. Oh, TDI, even better, man. Hell yeah. I freaking love TDIs. I have a Mark 7 TDI. I freaking love that car to death. My wife's car, but you know, I still drive the F out of it. There we go. I like that I get freaking 45 miles to the gallon on that dang thing with a tune. I gotta get a ratchet on that bad boy. That's definitely not gonna go on with a screwdriver. I have an ML27. Is it a good jib? ML270? I don't know what that is. Enlighten me what a ML270 is. Mercedes. Oh, okay. I've never actually seen one of those, so I don't know much about those cars. I don't work very much on Mercedes. Primary cars that I've worked on the side, like besides VWs, a lot of Audis. I've done a lot of Audi work. I've done a lot of, not many BMWs, but I've done, you know, a couple engine rebuilds on some BMWs. But primarily, I am a big VW guy. I fix VWs. I love VWs, so I focus all my repairs on VWs. But I know, I mean, I built Hondas. Growing up, I was a big Honda guy. I built Hondas pretty much from the early 90s. Before Fast and the Furious, got really into Hondas back then. Huge. I love Hondas. I had an EF SI. I had a CRX SI. I had a Honda Prelude, 97 Prelude SH with H22. We turboed that. I mean, I've had a lot of cool cars growing up as a kid. My dream car that I never got to own was a 1991 Toyota MR2. I've always wanted one. I've never been able to own one. So yeah. Yep, back when car culture was actually good. So yeah, car culture now on the JDM side is a total disgrace. Unfortunately, JDM and pretty much American Muscle is a disgrace right now. And I'm not even gonna lie that the European market is on the same pretty much track of being just full of disrespectful people. It's not the same anymore. People used to love what we did on our cars. People didn't come up to you and be like, oh, why is it not K24 swap? Or why is it an LS swap? Or, oh, why do you own a VW? Bro, we own the cars we own because of passion and why we like them, and we like the car. Why does it matter that I own, you know, a Toyota or a Honda or a Nissan or a Mazda or a Ford or what does it matter? I own it because I like it, not because I bought it for you, you know? Car culture is dead. Like I said, on all sides. On the Volkswagen side, it's still thriving. Or I guess on the Euro side, it's still thriving. But now it's turning into a cars and coffee culture because they're trying to bring back that culture of just having unique cars and just fun builds. But people just keep hating, you know? I had 3 CRXs. Hell yeah. Yeah, no one cared. They appreciated what you ever had. Exactly. No one cares anymore. You know, it's just interesting to me. But again, you know, people just come in here, they like to stir the pot and be like, why'd you waste your money on that? Because I like it. I mean, does it matter? Oh, if it's slow, I'm like, but does it matter to me, not to you? Because I know it's slow. I never said it was faster than your car. I mean, no one said it was. I mean, I like my car. You going to Car Week? Where's Car Week? Have you ever heard of an Australian Ford? No. What is it? UNC, you going to Car Week? What is, J King, what is Car Week? I don't know what that is. So I guess I'm not going because I don't know what it is. Barra engine, 4.0 turbo straight six. That's pretty cool. Old Fords were straight sixes, not turboed, but yeah. I'm doing a 3.6 VR6 and a Mark 6 GTI, keeping an NA. It's slower than my 2.0, but I don't care. 3.6 is, oh, you're probably thinking about, yeah, 2.0 T. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be slower. Look it up in Australia. I will when I got some time, my hand out of my cars, you know. Here. I think I should have made this clamp smaller before I put it on here. It's still not all the way down. It's down. All right. That should stay there. That's not gonna go anywhere. Hold on. Not going anywhere. But yeah, the 3.6 VR6 makes 280 horsepower naturally aspirated. About 300 pounds of torque. That's not anything to bat an eye at for a tiny little motor. Believe it or not, I mean, if you do that NA and you do, you know, all the proper mods for it, it might be faster than your 2.0 T. I mean, maybe, but it'll sound freaking ridiculously amazing. I'll tell you that. Type in Barra Turbo. I will. Can you send me a private message in TikTok and I'll look it up later? Super down to do that. Check out that car. All right. So now, put this in here. Radiator cap. Okay, so coolant line officially made in here. I'm still gonna put the intercooler pipe, even though it's not gonna do anything. I just gotta make sure nothing is still being bothered by any of my stuff. Again, it's all about fitment testing. Are you familiar with the video? Oh yeah, I know exactly what an EOS 2.0 T is. POS car for sure, but I mean, it's cool. I know you could do a Scirocco front end swap on those and they're gorgeous, but still a POS car. Plagued with electrical issues, plagued with the top, hard top issues, especially the electronic hard top. Oh my gosh, I've heard nothing but like headaches on that car. All right. Oh, by the way, I actually put the vacuum lines on here. So I got my fuel regulator vacuum line on here. I got my Boost wastegate vacuum line installed. They don't work because I don't have. Yep, tell me about it. I'm sorry, but even I mean, just for saying, like, I got it all done, right? The only thing I got to take care of is the V-band clamp on the exhaust. It didn't go 100% like flush, so I have a tiny little exhaust leak on the bottom. Something I can do super quick, get it fixed, and then yeah, get back up with the engine bay and turn on the car. I ran the car earlier for about 3 to 4 minutes without any coolant, but I have fresh oil in it, so it stayed pretty cool. Good news, no oil leaks that I could find. Running obviously almost full temp, and that's great because we wanted to confirm that the AN lines that we created are not leaking. So they're not leaking. I can't test the AN lines yet for the coolant because this is the first time that's going to actually have coolant in it. So we're going to be doing that in just a minute. So bear with me. I'm going to bring you guys down low, and we're going to pretty much, how do you say, I'm going to work on the exhaust system. Again, I just got to fix the V-band. Once that's fixed, then we can go back up top. I'm going to bring a box here so you guys can, I can read your comments as I'm working on it. All right. So I bring everybody everywhere. It's like a, how do you say, like a Field trip. Here we go. So we're here. I got this V-band. Oh, this is the wrong size. It's 13, right? Yeah. But yeah, I gotta get this V-band off. Once the V-band's off, then not off, but loose. We're gonna straighten the exhaust. Once the exhaust is straight, we can turn on the car. It's got a gnarly exhaust leak. We don't want to have an exhaust leak, especially when you spend so much money, you know? Fanny cat doctor. All right, here we go. Woo! I get my 13. Cool thing is I made a simple pressure tester for my AN lines, and it worked. I made them out of bolts and an airline fitting. Any news with the MK4 bumper vents? Good question. I have made lots of progress with them. I'm actually going to be revealing those next week. All due time, bro. Because you gotta understand, I do a lot of stuff. Oh, you're gonna hear a ratchet. Sorry. It's gonna be a little loud. Yeah, so the guy who got me the project, he's gonna be the first to get the first set when they are complete, and then I will reveal the new line of Mark IV FK vents to the world once I give it to. He gets the first set. He is allowed to get the first set. He's the one that hired me to do this job. So there you are. That's where I need you to be. But yeah, be ready for that. I see you tuning up the old something. I'm sorry, I can't read that. Give me a second. I can't read. Let me tighten this down. Because these V-bands, if you don't line them up perfect, they leak. So the good thing is that they have a male and a female side. They allow you to get it perfect, but they pop out of their clamp easily. So and I don't want it to come out of alignment. It did earlier. I didn't realize it. All right, let me read comments now. Let's see. I see you and the old carburetor there. It was a joke. Enjoy the rage baiting. I enjoy rage baiting people. It's okay. Let's see. Good evening. This is my first ever connect in a live chat. So nice to be here with PincheAls. Well, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. PincheAls is on the ground, working on his Mark IV and doing his last bit of wrenching right here on the exhaust system. And again, full 3-inch exhaust with the V-band clamp. Honestly, I'm a fan and not a fan of V-bands. I like bolt-on exhaust systems with a little gasket in between. I don't know why. Maybe I'm old school, but I like that. V-bands are cool, but they are such a pain to line up. Oh yeah, that's good. All right. That's done. Let's, what are you doing fitting in the new exhaust? No. So I had to remove my downpipe so I can put uh, my oil coolant line, and then on top of my oil line and the coolant line, I had to relocate a bunch of stuff and then move my O2 sensors. So my O2 sensor originally was all the way over here, too far. You'll see here's the bung for it. We relocated closer to the turbo. How I been? Pretty good, man. Thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for asking. So now we have the both O2 sensors are actually about 12 inches away from the turbo. They're on the bottom of the downpipe. That's fine. I wish I had them closer, but they weren't able to put them closer for me because of the fact that it would actually make contact with stuff that I don't want it to touch. I appreciate the guys who built my exhaust system and considered that for me. So now both O2 sensors are actually pointing straight down and under, but they're out of the way. No, I love working on I put it this way. I love working on cars on the ground. Believe it or not, I do not hate this type of setup. I prefer working on the ground than actually working on a lift. The reason for this, two main reasons. Number one, it's cheap. Number two, everyone in their house has a ground and they can work on the ground like I can. Both VR6 12 valve and 24 valve. Your videos help me through. Oh, heck yeah, I love that. I got a question for you. I just got a 2018 Honda Accord. Were you driving down the road? What's causing it to lose power? Number two is in fuel pump. No, if it's cylinder number two losing power, more likely you have an ignition coil. Peekaboo. Yeah, I can't afford a lift either, so I don't work on a lift. I work on the ground. But you can have a bad fuel injector. You can have bad ignition coil or a bad spark plug. You need to go start testing the cheapest thing possible. Number one, ignition coil. Move ignition coil number two into number three spot. Drive the car again. If the car feels the same, or it starts misfiring in a different cylinder, then we know the ignition coil is bad. Now, say nothing happens and nothing changes, and cylinder two is still having an issue, pull the spark plug out. Inspect the spark plug, see if it's not damaged or just completely fouled or worn out. Also, pay attention when you pull the spark plug out, see if it's not soaked in oil. A lot of times the valve cover gasket will leak oil and foul the plug and cause this problem as well and misfire or lose power. Okay, that's number two. Number three, fuel injector. That's kind of a little bit harder one to test. You need to do a Noid light and see if the injector is getting powered, or just get a voltmeter and see if the injector is getting power at the harness, at least minimum. No rust. Yeah, I take care of my cars. Believe it or not, I take care of my cars and I wash them pretty often. All right, we're done underneath here. Bye. Bring you guys all back up here. Used to have the car on copper wheels. Yeah, this is actually the same car that I'm working on. No. Justin Godin. Yeah, it's actually the same car. Look. Bam, look, it's got the copper wheels right there. This is a GT35 turbo. All right. I gotta open up the garage door. How many pounds? I mean, the car weighs about 3,200 pounds. All right, so Bree, you need to go into your cage. Same with Freddie. I'll put you guys in your cage. Sorry. I have to put you guys in your cage because you need you guys in here. I gotta turn on the car, but I gotta open up my shop. because I gotta turn on a car. Don't want to die of Carmen. How many pounds of boost? Well, it depends. Depends how much power I want to run. But the car can make 700 wheel. That's not my goal. 700 wheel will probably be about 38, maybe 30, 40 pounds of boost. But my goal is 400. So I'll probably be doing anywhere from 20. Man, you mining crypto? No, that's actually my data server. We use it all for like storing all my content that I create for my YouTube channels. I also store all my movies and TV shows for my kids. On top of that, I have a video editing PC in there. That is for my editor who remotely edits all my videos for me for my YouTube channel. So yeah. So no, I don't mind. But thanks for asking though. So yeah, my goal here is about 400 to 450 pounds of boost, and that's gonna put me around 20 PSI, maybe 25, you know? Oh, I appreciate you, man. Methany, I appreciate the follow. You have Veer DeMilo as your freaking profile picture. Hell yeah. Oh, Veer DeMilo. Jim Carrey, freaking genius right there. Hell yeah. I was like, I recognize that little tiny thumbnail, and I was like, yes. Heck yeah. Now we're back best friends, by the way, because I'm a living color nut. I love living color. One of the best TV shows ever to go on the air. Heck yeah. Okay. But I can't be like all the time. Heck is. I actually have the entire season on my server. I watch it all the time. I usually have it. I use a program called Plex, and I set it to random, and it'll just play random episodes when I watch it. So yes, I love In Living Color. What state am I in? Arkansas. The city is called Texarkana. All right. This is the first time. Not the last time, but the first time I'm gonna, not the first time. So we're gonna put more cooling. Alright, so we're gonna put cooling in this. A little bit in here to make sure. Oh, see, already made a mistake. See, when I get excited, I jump ahead. Gotta put my heater cord back on. Sorry, kitties. You're in your cage right now because I don't want you to go outside in the dark. Did you make a beer run to that city? If you know the movie, you know. Mike Hun in the back seat. Did you make a beer run into the city? If you know the movie, then you know. Did you make a beer? I'm trying to remember that line. Bandit. I don't remember that movie, believe it or not. And I am a movie addict, and I watch a lot of movies. And I tend to remember really good lines in certain movies. I don't remember that one. my heater core, thank goodness it's brand new. If not, this would have broke already. Ah, there we go. Ah, thank you, sweet baby Jeebus. Woo! All right. Heater core lines are installed. Trans Am to Texarkana. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about now. 70 or 9 Trans Am, I think. Yep. What state? I'm in Texarkana, Arkansas. All right, so heater core is now installed. I just put a little bit of water in it. I gotta double check the coolant lines underneath to make sure the bleeder valve is closed. I do not want to be spilling a bunch of water. I gotta plug in my fans. Fans are still disconnected on this car. Always forgot about that too. See what happens when I get excited? I get excited and I don't get things done. So I gotta plug in my fan control module. Well, my fan switch first. Okay, that's closed. And now my fans. Okay, fans are all plugged in. That's just my horn. I'm going to worry about my horn. I'm going to worry about that. Little radiator hose. Clamp on. That's good, that's good. We're all good down here now. Cool. Pretty much I'm just making sure all the primary coolant locations are closed off, because if not, we're gonna have a coolant leak, right? Totally. Why everything plastic? Not everything's really plastic, but yeah. Here, bring you guys closer. There you go. Actually, not much plastic in this engine. It's not like the Mark V's or the water pump. Water pump is actually metal in this car, not plastic. The factory one is plastic, I agree, but I have an aftermarket water pump. It's metal, so yeah, not everything is plastic. Coolant hoses. Yeah, the coolant hoses are plastic. I mean, technically rubber. And then a piece of plastic, but yes, you are correct. You know, but how many cars have metal tubes? What? You know, I don't know. So much plastic. Yeah, I mean that's kind of a common material we use for cars, or I mean for almost everything in the world. I don't get your point. Needs more water. All right. Let's see here. I gotta put this intercooler pipe back on here. Bear with me, guys. Here's this pipe here. This one goes down here. Feeds in. Metal, not plastic, it's a little hard, right? I have a 65, no plastic, 2012 I mean, there is a lot of plastic, Matthew. I mean, I have a 1971 VW bus, and there's still a bunch of plastic on it, but it all depends on what you're using. I mean, okay. Could I trade you an all-inclusive Florida riverfront vacation to Tony, what car? Do you use distilled water? Yes, we use distilled water always for coolant. We don't want any minerals in our water to generate rust. Upside down now. Oh, yeah. I don't like doing it from the bottom, but we're gonna have to do it from the bottom. Oh no, we can't because of the blow-up valve. Take off the take off this. This is why it's not letting me move it, because this part right here keeps it solid. We don't want it solid. We gotta make it wiggle. We gotta have some wiggle room. Tell them to use Fiji water. Bass Fab, hey, what's up, bro? What's up, Bass Fab? Tap is bad thing. Yeah, I agree. Tap water is bad. Tony, MK4, VR6. You need to fly me to Florida to do a VR6 time. That's so easy. Come on, man. I will fly out there. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I would fly out there. I'll definitely, if you pay for my flight to Florida to time your vehicle, I will go. 100%. 100% will go. Never been to Florida, and I can meet some of my friends out there too. Getting a new 1.8 throne. Hold on. Right, Bass Fab? Hell yeah. 1.8 throne in my wagon right now. It's been good 2 months without a car. Heck yeah. I'll meet you there and we'll knock it out together. Bass Fab, that would be so dope. I would love to make a video of that. Heck yeah. Just guys getting together and helping out a fellow dubber. That's what it's all about. There we go. See, this is what I needed to do. And then have it twisty. See, this is why I needed to get it underneath the hoses, because the hoses are in the way. But yeah. Problematic Mac Mark IV sent you a hand heart. Oh, thanks for the hand heart, bro. Okay, I'm gonna go back. We're gonna redo this again. So I see where I got snagged, so now I can go around that. I just don't want it. I have to go this way. It has to go underneath these guys. If not, we're not gonna get anywhere far or fast. Okay. I'll have to unscrew the fuel lines after this. That's no big deal. Come on. So without this line here, it's a lot easier to install. But now this line is here, and now it's becoming a pain in my rear. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take the intake one out first, put this one in afterwards. We'll put the charge one, because now I have a much larger hole to move things around. Okay, That works a lot better. Now I'll bring my VR6 magic tools and VR stand. Not this pipe again. I know, right? Whoever fabbed that piping looks great. I love the piping. It's just this piping was for a whole different turbo setup. Now it's like an annoyance, but it's okay. I gotta make sense of what I'm doing with this setup because I changed things, right? And now I have to make things work with my changes. So that's not the problem. I'm just making sense of if I can feed this down this way instead into out of my fuel lines and see if I can. So no, the fuel lines have to be unbolted, which truly sucks. I don't like disconnecting AN lines over and over and over, but it has to be done. There's my AN wrench. The good thing is it's a very quick removal, and since it's going directly to an actual fitting, it comes off very easily. Just dump a bunch of gas, who cares? It's just gasoline, it's not gonna hurt anybody. Alright, so now my AN lines are now out of the way. Not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to do this without doing that, but we have to do it. Alright, that one's in. So much easier, right? Now I gotta see if I can feed this one in here. All right, so the complication we're having, that would be super dope video opportunity too. I would gladly fly you out and get this job done right. I would love to. Let's link up, hit me up through Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Anyway, get a hold of me. If you need my phone number, here it is, 760-637-7619. Give me a call. Yes, I put my phone number out there to the world. My phone number is actually public information. If you Google me, you will find my phone number and a bunch of other information. I don't care. But again, send me a message and I would love to come out there and do your car. I would love to do it. It would not bother me in any way whatsoever. You don't have to pay me. Just fly me out there, give me a place to sleep and some food. Down. It'll be done on a weekend. All right, be done. Not even a weekend. It'll be done literally like 4 or 6 hours. It's not a really bad job. If we have 2 people doing it, it will be done within 4 to 6 hours for a VR6 timing job. Not hard. Not hard at all. All right, so I'm gonna take this back out. A little frustrated that I can't mount it the way I'm supposed to put this in here because the way the pipe goes in, feeds in through this side, but you have to feed it this way. If not, it doesn't fit. And it's an aggressive turn. This has to go in first, no matter what. If not, it just will not go in. So what I'm going to do, put this in. Do my best to keep it as close as I can, as tight as I can, and get that pipe in here correctly. It's just this coolant line. New line in here changes a lot of stuff, so. There we go. And we're now mounted. Orientation is now successful. This is there. Now I'm not clamping anything down yet. Again, this is all for mock-up purposes. I have to make sure all the stuff that you're used to seeing, where it's supposed to be, is there. Shoot, you seem like a cool dude. I don't have nothing needs fixing though. You are patient. Good job. Well, again, the reason why I'm patient because I changed stuff. I changed stuff in the engine bay, so things are going to be more difficult. You know? That would be a super dope video. Yeah, no, again, thank you, Heart594. I got to be patient. I don't have a choice. If I get all frustrated and angry, I don't win, you know. I don't win, and I gotta win. I won a victory tonight. I gotta call my son to bring me some distilled water. We have some in the house because we're gonna run straight water in here, and they're gonna flush the whole engine afterwards, and then run what's it called, water with coolant. But yeah. We are now set to drive. Not to drive, but to turn on the car. These, I gotta get the right size. I got the wrong ones. I got AN8s versus AN6s. So that is annoying, but no big deal. Coolant line is now out of the way. We are down to one vacuum line that I gotta make for my blow-off valve that goes over here. We're gonna cap off this guy or use this guy over here for my boost gauge. And everything else is set. I got a new air filter coming in. I found an air filter that I want. What clutch do you have? I run a Clutch Masters twin disc FX 700 or something like that. It's a twin disc. Later, buddy. Have yourself a good night. So I'm gonna be using not this filter, but I wanted to try to see if this one fit on my turbo. And for the space I have, it didn't fit. I need something about 2 inches, 3 inches wide filter wise, and then obviously a 3-inch inlet, but I need a small one so I can slide it down in between the turbo and the boost, the brake booster. Unfortunately, this was just, I think, an inch too wide. I'd rather go even smaller because I don't want an intake anymore. I'm just gonna throw a filter right on the dang turbo and call it done. I was thinking about putting an intake in the engine bay, but why? It does nothing. Intakes just really don't do anything for your car. So whatever. Now car is done. We're gonna open the door, make sure it pressurizes, and then I'm gonna get some more water. I'm gonna have my son come over and fill up my water jug with some distilled water, and then come back and finish this fill. But in the meantime, get some stuff plugged in. Bottles plugged in. Yeah, we're gonna need more water, so give me just a second here. Unless you can get into the fender, or you have any used 12 pistons kicking? Yes, I do actually. I have like 3 boxes worth. Unless you can get into the fender or a vent in the bumper. I have a 4-inch intake pipe, runs over by the battery, no filter. Yeah, again, I just want to put a filter on the turbo, call it done. That's it. I don't really care for a cold air or a short ram. I'm just gonna literally just throw it on the intake. I was gonna throw on, I have a turbo fab, just turbo screen. I wanted something with an actual filter. Some of the areas that I drive around here does have a lot of gravel. So I kind of don't want to, there's some roads that have gravel roads, right? So I really don't want to just suck up a bunch of dust and then kill my turbo fins. So the thought is just a cheap, not cheap, but like an HKS, like mushroom filter right on the turbo. That'd solve the problem. I don't need to worry about putting an intake anywhere. I gotta get my son on the walkie. Here it is. Alonzo or mom, do you copy? Son or mama, do you copy?
Yes.
I need one of you to come over here and grab this water jug and get me some fresh water for the car, please.
I'm sending the child.
Thank you. Yeah, so my shop is about 125 feet away from my house. I'm not trying to phone call or walk over there and come back and walk. I have a child. They're great for a lot of things, and this is one of the things that they're great for, doing small little jobs for me. Vast Fab, let me go through my boxes. It's in my shipping container. I know I have a couple extra sets, but I have to go through my boxes and find it for you. But I will give you a set. I have a set that's kind of okay, but you can have them. I mean, I just pay for shipping. I know shipping won't be cheap, so. T Fraughts, what are we working on? A 1.8 T, big turbo. I'm just finishing up on the last bit of things. Heck yeah. Yeah, my son, he's an amazing kid. I love him. Very, very good listener, and he'll do stuff for me. Obviously, I don't use them. Did you have to replace the turbo? I did because I wanted more power, but I wanted more power in a lower RPM range. Vast Fab, okay. Can you PM me? Because I will forget. I mean, I will forget about the VR6 pistons, honestly. The ones I have are 2.8 liter, by the way. They're from a 2.8 liter VR6, okay? Yeah, I'm just waiting on my son. And once he's here, I'm gonna turn the car on. I'm gonna actually open up the shop right now. Actually, let me open up the shop. Because I'm gonna turn on the car. And with the car on, it's gonna reek. Will the new turbo last longer than the old turbo in terms of quality? Well, the old turbo didn't last as long because I didn't take care of it. Tony, I am not a cool, I just enjoy what I do. Papa, can you fill this up, but make sure we use the filtered water in the system, okay? The one that's in the kitchen, not the one in the fridge, okay, on the sink. Yes, that one is our reverse osmosis one, so that one we have to use that one. Please. Please and thank you. Go. Take her with you. Yes, I gotta remember. I'm sorry. Sure, AAA VRT budget build for Wookiee 27 next April. Nice. I will see you there, by the way. Wookiee's 27. What poly motor mounts do you prefer to run? Well, I don't have poly motor mounts. I use VF Engineering motor mounts, which have polyurethane bushings, but their bushings, which are pretty dang solid. They're making these cars to fail sooner rather than later, and adding a turbo adds a lot more heat. That is true, but it's all internally upgraded for all the upgrades, for all the heat. All right, so I'm gonna crank this over, get it running. I gotta turn on the fan. So I don't smoke myself out. Alright, stop that fuel leak. No more leaks down here. So I want to go Wookiees in the Wood. I've never been. What can you tell me about my Golf R clutch? No engagement on, but when it's off. You have too much space on the clutch. You probably swapped out the clutch and you probably have the wrong hardware on there. You got, no, I don't. I turned off my two-step. I disabled that completely. Two-step kills engines and kills turbos. Two-step is lame. Let's see here. You have walked me through headliners, power steering rack, axles, probably a few other things. After telling my ride, having to rebuild the front end myself. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for using my content. You know, I love the fact that people still use my content. It's that because I live in NC all my life and still haven't been there. Oh my God. Exactly, Bar. Don't worry about two-step. It's nothing. It's a joke. It's crap. All right. Now that that part is all done, I'm just waiting on my son for some water. We're gonna put some water in here. Once we have some water in here, we'll be able to run the system. Make sure. That's right. Hey, Papa. Thank you for the agua.
Don't drink.
Hmm?
Don't drink.
No, I should not drink this. Never drink. But I am thirsty.
Where's your water bottle?
It's over there. Fine, I'll drink. All right, got my funnel. Can you be here right now, or are you gonna get in trouble?
I'm not gonna get in
It's
trouble.
school night.
I know.
I won't see you in trouble.
I won't.
All right. It's all done. Let's see, any more comments? Nice. It's amazing how many people I meet on TT following. Okay. That sucks to hear. Sounds like a slave cylinder issue. So again, if your Golf R and you just swapped out the clutch and the clutch pedal is working, more than likely you might, if you swapped out the clutch, you might have hardware issue, but it's hard to tell. Max power RPM on stock valve springs. Max is about 350 to 400 horsepower on a 100% stock head. And that's like pushing the limits of that head. What am I working on? My 1.8T Mark IV. When did you eliminate the cool ball? What did you do for overflow? No overflow, it just dumped straight to the ground. I eliminated the cooling ball a long time ago. Clutch wasn't swapped. Okay, then yeah, your slave cylinder went out. That makes the most sense. Midwest, I don't go live but make some content. I'm just friends with Pinche. Well, I agree. Me and Vast Fab are finally becoming really good friends now. Yeah, so if you didn't swap out the clutch and it just goes straight to the ground, there's no engagement, then more than likely your slave cylinder went out. Good thing is, it's super easy to do. So if you go to SuperTech valves, but you still have stock springs, 400 horsepower is your limit. Your springs are gonna get so soft, they're soft, and what happens is that if you start spinning after 400, you're going way too fast. You're gonna have valve float, and then you're just gonna end up bending valves, you know? Some VWs have interior and exterior slave cylinders, but if it's a Golf R, it's actually inside your transmission. The slave cylinder is actually a part of your throttle bearing, by the way. Bye, Papa.
See you in the morning. You're going to the gym, right?
Yeah, I'll be in the gym tomorrow. Good night. Thank you again for the water, okay? I appreciate you, my boy. So I've reached the top of the coolant system right now. I'm just waiting for it to work some bubbles out before I turn it on. Woo! So there's still more bubbles in the system, so we gotta get them out before I turn on the car. Still shakes, not as much as before. When I hit 55, then it stops. What car you're wrenching on? 2002 Volkswagen GTI. Hey, I got shaking steering wheel on B5. Did full suspension, strut mounts, inners, outers. What did Vast say? Okay, so if it shakes at 55, wheel bearings, ball joints are part of that. Do you know how? Do you know much about 2.0Ts? Yeah, I know a lot about 2.0Ts. I worked on a lot of them. But you gotta be more specific because there's a lot of different flavors of 2.0Ts. Same with 1.8Ts. There's actually not one 1.8T. There's a bunch of different versions of the 1.8T. Why are you not firing now? You start up. What do we have an issue with right now? I've done nothing to the electrical on this car. Besides the new harness, I mean nothing new. And now it won't fire. It fired up. You guys watched it. It turned right on. Ah, it's so annoying. I'll start right now. It's just sometimes it's being weird right now. I gotta move my chickens outside. I don't want to kill them with the smog. Just chill there for a while. All right. No, it shouldn't be fuel because it's not leaking anymore. Well, it looks like it still is. That's weird because it's been fine for like weeks. I've done nothing. We had pressure. I literally had pressure. I can hear the fuel pump kick on. We literally had it running like not even 20 seconds ago, and now it's just, I turned it off because I needed to put coolant in the car, and I waited, and now it's not running. I don't want to take off the AN fittings to check for fuel pressure because it's annoying because I already did that, and now we got a leak, so. I agree. A gas fire is no fun. The good thing is right here where it wants to leak, but it's not leaking. It's a super minimal leak, and I think because there's debris in it. I do have a replacement fitting just in case if that does not hold fluid. Try it again. Oh, there it is. That's why. Freaking A. There's a massive vacuum leak right here on the side of the head. No, I don't 3D print anything. I don't know why you're asking. Yeah, it's this one right here. The vacuum line on the fuel pressure regulator is giving me an issue. I think it's too small. So I can hear the leak. Yeah. It's way too small of a line. How do you fix a vacuum leak? Get the right hose on there. Random question. What's the best way to tell if a belt is too tight? Does it have a manual tensioner? Okay, so usually if your belt's on too tight, you want about a 1/4 inch of play in both directions, up to a 1/2 inch of play in both directions. Not 1/2 inch combined, but 1/2 inch up, 1/2 inch down, or 1/4 inch up and down. If you have more than 1/2 inch or that, then it's too much slop. If it's not like a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch, then it's too tight. It will also make it like a twang noise. You'll hear it. It sounds like it's hard to tell you, but there's a specific noise that it makes when it's too tight, and there's a specific noise that it makes when it's not tight, or it wobbles. But yeah, you can spray WD-40. It'll make a difference in noise. But it's running now. Vacuum line I gotta take care of. My power steering pump is on its way out. I know that. So that's an easy fix. I gotta keep adding coolant and water in this scenario. Because now we gotta pay attention to water leaks. I no longer have oil leaks, so I gotta see if I don't have water leaks. This is a 2002 VW GTI. Looks like a broken down Ford. 2002 Volkswagen GTI, fully built, big turbo, all the fun stuff. I don't know why all these engine ticks, it's annoying. It's a Mark IV, bro. Fuel injectors are right here. They're super ticky. You should know this. I know, for arm day, right? But I had to do everything else. This is leg week, by the way, not arm week. We're doing leg week. I gotta check the meter. Kick on and everything else works. GTI with a turb ski will get me. I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of street racing, like going fast on the road, but yeah. Well, Ford is sort of found on the road dead. These engines are very reliable if you know how to work on them. I agree. These are phenomenally reliable engines. Replaced my fuse box in my Mark IV. It melted again because it was too lazy to change the alternator cable, even though I had 2 gauge sitting. That sucks, by the way. All right, so engine is running great. We gotta get it up to temp now. It's smoky in here, and I honestly believe, I honestly think I have bad stem seals. It might be cylinder number 3 or 4. very common for these to blow stem seals. Once you go big turbo, you start having fun other problems, you know? But the cool thing is I can do a whole stem seal job without taking the motor out or taking the head off. I have a pretty cool tool for that. So I'm not overly concerned. That's like a good 2-4 hour job. So yeah. How much power? Well, before I swapped the turbo, it was making almost 450. Now we're up a lot higher. The engine's built for 700, but we're not trying to go that route. Give me a second. I gotta check the temperature. This makes about 20 horsepower. Woo, it's smoky in here. Holy smokes. Yeah, that's not good. I gotta open all my doors. I gotta turn off the car. Yeah, it's about 0 to 60 in about 2 days, just about right. So, as you can see, there's a lot of smoke in the shop. That's not good. I don't have a cooling ball. It's deleted. I run straight, no cooling ball. Just a drainage pipe right here. Here's an overflow pipe. So once it gets to running temperature, it'll just dump a little bit of coolant to the ground. I have to usually fill coolant on this car like once a month, about half a cup to a cup of coolant. Just open the cap, dump coolant in there and call it done. It's no big deal. Just like the clean bay, you know what I mean? But yeah, all this smoke in the garage is now officially, I'm officially concerned now for my my seals, my stem seals on this motor. We're gonna have to do a compression test and see if it holds pressure. Because yeah, it's not supposed to do that. There's definitely something going on the pretty much the seal side. This is too much smoke. I should not have this kind of smoke in my car, but I had a feeling that it was going to be a seal. I was hoping it was a fuel problem, but it's not a fuel problem. It's definitely a seal. And that's probably due to the fact that I was rocking two-step for a long time in this car. PincheAls huffing, huh? It's not blue. It's more of a white smoke, but it's definitely it's burnt oil. You can smell it. It's not coolant because this car doesn't burn coolant. I tried. I thought it was coolant, but it doesn't have that smell of burnt coolant. Definitely has the smell of burnt oil. So for sure, it's going to be oil. Now, blue smoke only happens if it's dumping oil into the exhaust. More than likely, it's one cylinder that's doing the job, doing all the harm versus multiples. That's why it's probably a little bit and just blowing a lot of smoke out of there. Good news, it's a super easy fix. I just got to be able to find out which cylinder is causing the problem. So now, what time is it? 10 o'clock? We got just enough time. If it is a bad motor, if my pistons are bad, or my rings are bad, Why are you not needing to add coolant to your? Why are you needing? Because I don't run a coolant ball, so I don't have a reservoir or way to recirculate coolant. Yeah, so more than likely, again, a stem seal. Valve stems, when they go bad, they dump just enough oil or they suck in air where they're not supposed to get it, and it causes this plume of white smoke. No, I don't want a reservoir in my engine bay. I like it clean. So, adding a cup of coolant once a month, I'm talking about what, 2 minutes of work, just take the cap off, put coolant in it, call it done. I mean, I like the way it looks. All right, let's pull these rings up. Have just enough time to do a compression test. And this allows me for the air to air out in the shop. Here we go. Man, does it reek in here. But positive news, there's no coolant leaks. So I'm pretty happy about that. So I fix all the other problems, and then I have a new one. I think I found the issue. I think it's cylinder number 3, like I said earlier. That spark plug came out oily. Yeah, it's gonna be a valve seal. A valve guide seal or a stem seal. Clean. Yeah, that's why, again, this is a awesome example why we don't run two-step. Two-step kills motors, man. Here's a perfect prime example of what I mean by that. And this is why got my tuner to disable two-step on my car, because I'm tired of causing more problems. Ooh, that one's smoky. Look at that. Cylinder number 1 actually is the one with the oil in it. Yep. I think cylinder number 1 is fried. We're going to find out. We're going to run a compression test. Hopefully it's just a stem seal. Now, yeah, look at that. Look at all that smoke coming out of cylinder number 1. Holy smokes, guys. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can see it. But definitely a smoky piston. Look at that. Yeah, that's oil. If that was coolant, that would have came out immediately and done that. But see, there's been zero coolant in the car. And how do you say it does this still? So it's oil. Just heads up. If someone's gonna comment right now, be like, "Oh, you got a coolant problem." No, it's an oil problem. Stem seal. Pull out my compression tester. I just hope my piston rings are holding. At least holding on my piston rings. At least my rings aren't fried. That's my only concern. All right, I need you guys to be my eyes for this. I'm gonna run the compression test. I need you guys to read the number for me since you guys are gonna be watching. All right. Yeah, it would suck, but the good thing is I have another motor that I've already built, so no big deal. I can swap that motor out and get it up and running a lot faster than you would think. So, you guys on here, do me a favor and keep an eye on the pressure. All right? What we want is to be at 180, but if the pressure goes down slowly, then we might have just a stem seal. But if the pressure goes down immediately, then it's a different story. I gotta let me pull the fuel relay. All right, that's done. All right, guys. Like I said earlier, we're looking for 170 to 180 psi, which is right here. Okay, that's all we want. But what we're gonna pay attention to at the same time is if it drops, and I need you guys to read that for me before once I crank this over. All right, here we go, guys. I'll be right back. We're gonna give it a crank. All right, make sure you read the numbers. Oh, look, it's going down. But what do we get? What number do we get? You'll notice it's going down slowly. 100% a stem seal. 180. So we are holding proper compression. The problem is it's going down. So that is right now already immediately telling me that we have a stem seal problem. So that's an easy fix. That's a good thing. Not too bad. The next step is we got to do all four. And then as long as we confirm it's only one, I only have to fix one. All right, guys. Hope you guys are helping me out. You guys are doing a really good job helping this guy out, all right? So we're going to do the next cylinder, okay? We might as well do all four. But only cylinder number one was smoking. Come on. I hate these things so much, they never can go in. No problem, man. That's what we're here for. There we go. All right. Again, I want you guys to pay attention to the numbers. Keep an eye on those numbers for me. T-Trots, you do not need to pull the head for a stem seal. Not at all. And I'll show you guys in a little bit how to do it without pulling your head. All right, here we go. We're going to the next step. We're doing cylinder number 2. Keep an eye on the numbers for me, guys. Make sure I don't think these are gonna have any problems. I think it's just cylinder number 1. You gotta love Mark IV starters. Ooh, that one's going down too. I wonder if it's just my gauge doing this. What did we hit on that? 190, 80, 190? What's the stock motor? 180 is supposed to be there. Did the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna do it one more time because that one's also doing it. If all of them are doing it, I'm gonna swap out all the stem seals. All right, where are we at? Okay, see? Now it's solid at 180. Yeah, that was for sure the dang gauge. I might have to redo number 1. Cause see, we're holding pressure the entire time. No loss in pressure. That is very good. So we'll test number 1 after we get all the other ones done. Cause I want to confirm. But yeah, very good. So the way that you do a stem seal without taking the head off, very easy, but very carefully. You can do it 2 ways. You use nylon rope and you stuff it in to the cylinder. Okay. You stuff it inside the cylinder wall. Inside the cylinder until it holds the, the valve up, and you can't push the valve down anymore. That's option number 1. Okay. Option number 2. You can get what they call a piston compression tube or seal. It's just all it is. It's one of these guys, these compression tools, but with an option to connect to a compressor nozzle, and then you just pressurize the inside, and it just pressurizes the valves. And then once the valve's under pressure, you can take out everything, and you can just do the whole job without taking the head off. It's got no gas in it. That's your problem. So again, we hit 180 with no drop. We're going to cylinder number 3 now. I got it nice and tight this time, and we're going to see what's going on. Heck yeah, look at that. Solid 180 PSI. Beautiful. It might be 181, but this is perfect. All right, this is a perfect. So cylinder number 2 and number 3 are perfect cylinders. So I think my theory of a bad cylinder, number 1, not cylinder, but stem seals is number 1. I hope it's number 1. That way we have a new DIY on how to do this without. I'm actually excited because I haven't done engine work in quite a while, and I want to do some engine work. So I'm actually excited to do this job. All right, so we're back down to 0. And do you have a pico? What's a pico? Bodywork, yeah. Bodywork is so painful and like backbreaking. All right, we're going to do the last one, guys. All right, cylinder number 4, and then we're gonna go back to cylinder number 1. 181, almost 182. Not bad. Not bad. That's very good numbers. That means everything is holding proper compression except for doo-doo butter cylinder number 1. Okay, I know for a fact I don't have a bad head gasket because this does not burn any oil or burn coolant. I mean, it is burning oil, correction, but it does not do anything with coolant right now. So, all right, we're gonna get this guy nice and snug. And we're gonna do one more compression test on cylinder number 1. All right, here we go, guys. We're on cylinder number 1 one more time. I got it really snug inside of here. We're gonna see if it holds. I doubt it because you're already seeing what's happening. All right, let's see. Huh, look at that. It's actually 181 and holding. See that? It's actually holding pressure. All 4 cylinders are actually holding pressure. We actually might have a bad head gasket. This is pointing towards a bad head gasket. Picoscope your car. Use it. Map the engine with pressure transducer. I don't have a picoscope, but yeah, it's holding. It's been holding for over like 20 seconds. So no loss in pressure. So, but that means it's either we're troubleshooting an issue because cylinder number 1 is dumping oil into it. So I'm trying to think because I'm trying to remember that the oil galleys do not go to cylinder number 1. I need a head gasket. I gotta pull a head gasket out, and I gotta double check where the galleys are in this motor. Because now I'm extremely curious on where are the oil passages on this motor by the cylinder. I don't think there is any by the cylinder. There you go. So this right here is our, here, let me zoom out. All right, so let me see if I have a, oh yes, it's in here. I have a better head gasket here. On the Victor end, much better head gasket. Okay. So this is our, can you still have good compression in a bad oil ring? No. Once you have a bad oil ring, everything is pretty much on its way out. Could also cause oil in cylinder, valve cover gasket, the O-ring, the O-rings around the spark plugs. The only way you can get oil is a stem seal or a head gasket. So I'm thinking, because this is water passage, so these are the water passages, and these are the oil galleys right here. No, this is a 1.8T AWP. So there's 2 oil galleys right at the top of the cylinder, right here. These are coolant passages, and that's an oil galley. So more than likely, we have a cracked oil galley. So, again, right here, it could be, since this is cylinder number 1, yeah, so this is Trying to remember the orientation on this gasket. Because these big ones, all these big passages are water passages, and then the little tiny ones are the oil ones. So what we'll do is the cheap fix is number one, without taking the head off. We're going to be doing the stem seals. So I'm going to take the valve cover off tomorrow, and then we're going to do stem seals, because I'm hoping it's a stem seal, right? The only way you can see that is by taking the cams off and looking at the stem seal and see where there's oil coming through. I won't be able to see it with inside the scope because it's on top going through the valve. If it is the head gasket, I mean, I could see it through a scope, so I'm going to check that as well. I was going to say the half moon seal valve cover, just guessing. That's all the way over here on the cylinder number 4. We're not on number 4. We're on cylinder number 1. We only have a couple oil passages right here. So we have a 50-50 shot that it's either a cracked gasket around here. Again, that can happen. I am using ARP hardware, so I have a really good head gasket setup. However, you do have to go back into your head every now and then and retighten the ARP hardware, by the way. That might be it. I might just have to tighten the hardware and we're good to go. Problem solved. It's holding compression. Usually, if you have a bad galley, you would have burned oil, which I don't. I just put clean oil in this car and none of it came back dark after running it for a few times. So I'm hoping it's just a stem seal that's dumping oil into it. So I'm at a 50-50, again, 50-50 chance. Let's do a stem seal. I'll get my tool so you can teach you guys how to do a stem seal without taking the head off. That'll be cool. I'll do a DIY. I'll do a video on that. That way you guys can rewatch it over and over. Then if that doesn't solve the problem, I'll double check my torque specs on my head, see if all my bolts are torqued down to specification. If they are, then it's more than likely culprit number 3. Good thing is this motor has a F ton of miles on it. Like a turbo pain in the butt. It's not hard. This is an easy job. The good thing is I did all the proper modifications for this car to do the job very fast. I can do this in a day, no big deal. But I want to do some other options before I have to swap out a head gasket. So yeah, I'm actually excited for this job because it's an easy job. Unfortunately, my car will not make it to SoCal Euro because I'm in this scenario now. But the rings are holding and the pressure is holding. So that means valves are all the way up. Remember that. When your valves are all the way up, you're holding pressure. If it was a cracked gasket, the pressure would go through the head gasket. And we put 180 PSI on this gasket. So again, it's pointing more towards stem seal versus a head gasket. Because a head gasket, if I pressurize that cylinder, it would leak. So again, this is where we're trying to make sense of that, right? Oil does not prevent leaks or prevent the oil for coming out of it. It should go into the cylinder or out into the gasket, and we should be hearing it in the crankcase because that's where it would go in. So again, it's kind of one of those things that it's really going towards a valve stem seal, which I'm hoping for. How do you test for those? That's pretty kind of much it. You just pressurize the cylinder, and if it holds pressure, we're there. You could go to a leak down test, which you heavily pressurize it using compressed air and see where we get more pressure into that. But we held 180 PSI, no drop in pressure after 30 seconds. Typically, when you have a drop in pressure under 30 seconds, there's an issue somewhere. But valves are sealing, piston rings are sealing. So the only thing that doesn't seal is the stem seals. Now those only come into effect when the valves open and close, right? So when it's opening, valve's open, we're dumping oil into the cylinder. When we're closing, we're burning it. And that's what I think is happening. And it's just enough that it's making white smoke and not blue smoke. It's just enough. So I think it's spitting a little bit of oil back and then, and it's just doing it right. So because the smoke goes away if I drive the car. The moment I'm idling with no pressure, it starts smoking. So that to me is when it's building up pressure, the stem seal is doing its job. When it's out of pressure and idle, when it's under vacuum, the stem seal no longer is doing its job. So that's what makes sense to me in my brain, and that's how I'm gonna hopefully think that's what it is. Good thing is I have all the tools to do this job very fast. You guys are gonna learn how to do timing on a car, and you guys on a 1.8T in the engine bay. Easy job, guys. Again, very easy. Don't panic. So we'll learn all that stuff. We do have to, how do you say, take the motor mount off, because I have to take the timing belt off. So we're going to have to retime the motor after we're done, but it's no big deal. I wish we could hold timing in place. Technically we could. We can just run a zip tie and lock the timing belt once we take everything off. That could work, but I'd rather just retime the engine and get it done. It's easy. All right. So thank you everybody for tuning in for this live. We're done for tonight. We just hit our snow optics, still working on the POS. Get a real car already, 100% trash. Okay, snow optics. Gosh, you guys, TikTok is full of just trash people. I love it. It's really good. It entertains me because these guys, I enjoy the hate because these guys come here to enjoy someone getting a rise out of it, right? But it's okay. Snow optics, go for it, bro. Actually, it does not. I've owned this car for a very, very long time, and it doesn't bother me. I own a lot of VWs, and people always trash, hate on them, and that's fine. And I love that because that's when, people always try to come here. Yeah, he probably does drive a Honda or a V8. He's one of those guys. It's okay, though. And that's right. People don't know what these things can do, and we want it to kind of stay that way, right? And that's all it is. And this guy's all, no hate, just facts. No hate, just facts. Don't worry about it. You can trash talk all you want, but it's okay. Just go bother somebody else so that they can get a rise out of them. Most V8s who are, most V8 people who are really humble are always going to love VWs, and they really don't hate on them. It's just the people that don't have anything else, to do besides trying to get a rise out of somebody. For Snow Optics, I'm going to give you a follow. You're good at this trash talking, and it's entertaining. So I requested to follow you, by the way, Snow Optics. I want to see your builds. But again, I'm actually pretty happy. Hey, babe. Oh, no, he is 100%. He did his job so well that I followed him. Well, I requested a follow, so hopefully he accepts my follow, and we might end up being good friends. Who knows? It's all right, Cruz. I'll be back. You're my neighbor, by the way, so don't worry about it. Nobody wants the junk unless you gave it away. That's true. Nobody will want my junk. That's true. Where can you buy Tectonic Tuning, Mario? They make cams for that car. Again, he is putting maximum effort to troll or hate, and I love it. Those are the people that have nothing else to do in life, and I like following them and seeing what they do. It's just entertainment. It's pure fun and entertainment. You know, and again, we should encourage these haters, especially for the people that don't know any better about VWs, and let them hate, because that keeps the market cost for us much lower. You know. Let's see the build. It's right here, man. 1.8T. Unfortunately, we just discovered we have a bad cylinder on number 1. More than likely due to the 2-step or boost. Who knows? But I'm guessing it's 2-step, you know. So it's okay. I actually have brand new stem seals for it. I just got to go get it in my box of goodies. Speaking of box of goodies, it's right over here. I think I have a set of things somewhere around here. They're pretty easy to find. Not in this box. Where are my stem seals? Ah, here they are. I was about to say, this is a 1.8T, yep. So, Victor Renz, one of the best brands you can get. Better than, I personally think you've been with her. I've had this car for almost 12 years. This car has been through a lot. It's been through a ton. It has over 400,000 miles on it. But it's also about 100,000+ miles on the big turbo build, previous build. So it's bound to have some problems. Don't get me wrong. I'm hoping it's just a stem seal. And if it is, bro, it's such a quick fix. But yeah. So what happens if you have an issue with a stem? I mean, they can. These are the little gaskets that go bad on your valve stems. Super tiny. Exactly, babe. That's exactly right. Break, fix, and repeat. My wife understands the life cycle of VW, bro, so I'm not even mad. T-Frots, I agree. It sounds exactly like a stem seal because it holds pressure under compression. But, hold on. There's a noise that I hear. The wiper motors are on. I was wondering what that sound was. So, I'm excited because there's 5 of these on 1 cylinder, and we're gonna replace all 5, and it's super quick. The only thing I don't know where it is the tool for this. If you see a duder on the road, give him a thumbs up and a peace symbol. Cruz, trying to get my saying. It's a dubber, D-U-B-B-E-R, Cruz. Give him a thumbs up, give him a deuces, respect one another, and love everyone. That's what we say every night before we say goodbye. I have that same box of seals for my VW. Victor Renz, definitely quality manufacturer. Seals, gaskets, not crazy expensive. Yep. Oh, should I build a TDI? Let me show you something. Then you have not watched my YouTube channel, 1967 Mossberg. I have built a TDI motor. Let me show you. And actually a VW TDI. It's dark outside, but I'll show you guys. So this is my Mark IV 24 valve VR6. That's my Mark IV TDI lifted car. So if you guys know that car, that's my lifted off-road Jetta. Okay, you can't see them in the dark, but there's my VR6 turbo over there towards the back. There's my VR6 Mark IV wagon, and then I have another 1.8T 5-speed wagon as well. And then over here to my right, there's my Corrado and my VW bus. Or one of my VW buses. I have another VW bus in my backyard that's fully restored. I also have a 1986 Mark II GTI 1.8T big turbo. Which one Jetta is driven the least? None of them. They actually get driven the most. All my cars get driven hard. And they get driven and then they get put away for a little while and then I drive another car. Pretty soon though, I'm giving away half of my collection. Believe it or not, I'm giving away the 2 Jetta wagons. I'm going to give away the VR6 Turbo. I'm going to give away the Corrado. So that's half of my cars are going to be going off. Very nice, 1967. So all that, again, all my cars get driven hard and for a very long time. It just depends on what we're using them for, right? Every car has its function and we use them based on what we on the demand. I'm actually going to convert the Jetta for mudding. Out here in Arkansas, they do a lot of mudding, so we're definitely going to be doing that. Exactly, Rowan. We're going to do a raffle style. That's correct. But only select people are going to be able to do it. Believe it or not, we have a Patreon. So our a paid membership YouTube section or our YouTube channel. So we have Patreon. Go to patreon.com, look up PincheAls Garage, become a Patreon member. It is a monthly subscription. You pay whatever you want to pay. Even the lowest price subscriber gets a raffle entry. You get 1 entry. That's it. You don't get multiple. So you go to patreon.com, become a member, you get subscription, and then if we have 200 subscribers, there's only 200 people that can win the car. That's it. When should I enter this? Eventually, Mr. Cruz. I don't recommend people joining Patreon right now. We're not ready for going full scale Patreon. Once the Jetta is in the shop, the VR6 Turbo, you guys get to do the raffle and all that, okay? Once the Jetta's in here, that's the VR6 big turbo build, and that one is for you guys. Once that one's done, then the Corrado comes in for the next raffle for Patreon. Those are the 2 cars. Then we vote on which car is next, either the Mark IV GTI 24-valve VR6 or the wagons. Personally, I would rather give away a wagon. Wagons are super dope. Even if it's a bag wagon, 1.8T or a 24-valve, full body kit, wheels, paint, full interior. I mean, we're going to do some fun stuff. So please, please, please do not become a Patreon member. If you do, you just help funding a lot of the builds that are coming. And that way we save the money and we use that towards the builds. But I recommend once the actual Jetta's in the shop, become a member. And that's how we fund the build. As you guys pay for the monthly subscription, that just funnels the money into the car. The car is actually almost done, but it just needs a couple grand more to finish it completely. I think we're down to paint, windshield, interior, fueling, and tires. I think that's where we're left on that car. So again, not much money. It's a couple grand, but I don't recommend paying anything until you guys join. I'll show you guys later about that later. That's all later. Once Patreon becomes active and the car's in here, I'm not going to be streaming on TikTok. Only Patreon members are going to get content. So the VR6 Turbo, if you guys are going to want to be involved in the VR6 Turbo, you guys have to be on Patreon. And it's a YouTube, but it's a private event. No one can watch it unless you're a Patreon member. All right, I'm done. I got some work to do tomorrow. We're gonna be doing some stem seals. I will be filming that and posting it on my YouTube channel, so you guys can watch that full video on how to do stem seals without pulling your head off. Obviously, you have to pull the cams out and do timing again. That's no big deal. That's the easy part. We're gonna learn how to do stem seals. All right. Well, a clean VR6 wagon with no issues, good interior, good exterior, you're looking at $4 to $6 grand easily. Easily $4,000 to $6,000 on that car. You know, the one I have, I buy turds. So make sure they have blown motors or bad transmissions, because I do a full build. I restore the cars. Oh, itchy back. All right, guys, I gotta close up shop. That's actually not bad. $46,000. It's an old ass car, bro. 20 years. You know? I agree. Boxy body. All right. Today, we just learned a new thing that my car is done, but now it's not done. It's going to have to go back under the knife for a bad cylinder number 1. No big deal. This is the life cycle of a VW. We're going to break it, we're going to fix, and repeat. If you see another dubber on the road, give him a thumbs up, give him a deuces, respect one another, and as always, love everyone right here at PincheAls Garage. Be safe, everyone. Have a wonderful night. I'll see you guys again, possibly tomorrow.